students. Today we are going to see the theoretical concept of MOSFET. This is metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. Here in this lecture, we are going to I am going to explain what is the type of MOSFET, device configuration, and how the basically how the MOSFET is going to work. Right. So when you see the MOSFET, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. Okay, you may have a question. Why MOSFET is better than BJT? It's a very simple reason. The BJT, compared to BJT, MOSFET can be made very small. It occupies very small area on IC chip. When you want to design high density VLSI circuits, it include like a you want to incorporate many devices, right? When you take a normal resistor and a capacitor, diodes, it will occupy more space. Okay, so we can essentially you can replace those drawbacks, the digital circuits, especially by using a MOSFET elements. Okay, like in microprocessors and memories, so this MOSFET play the quite role. The main reason is the temperature stability is more. It is the output current is not change with respect to the any temperature parameter. Temperature stability is good compared to BJT. In MOSFET, noise will be very less. Another thing, the input impedance which will offer in the MOSFET will be extremely good. So that is a very important needed property in your MOSFET device. Okay, that is make a main role why people are focusing in the MOSFET. When you see the basic principle of MOSFET is it's working in the concept of field effect. What do you mean by field effect? Actually, I'm not going in depth what do you mean by field effect. I'll just give when we are going for the next upcoming slides, you'll be understanding how the field is play the major role while like to control your output current. So it control the current in the semiconductor. Basically, I want to control the current in the semiconductor. How? In the MOSFET. By applying the electric field perpendicular to the surface. Like if you take a common source, it will apply in the gate. So that is a perpendicular to the surface I will be applying. Based on the field which is generated below the dioxide. Here you can see metal first layer. Oxide will be a second layer and semiconductor will be a third layer. So due to the presence of oxide, here consider oxide, I am considering a silicon dioxide, SiO2. So this will not allow the charge carriers to pass through, but it can able to it can able to generate the field inside the semiconductor. That field is that's what that principle in MOSFET we are working. That field is a line of force will be exist from your gate from metal to the semiconductor through oxide. Okay, that is a perpendicular to the surface. Okay, so when you see the structure, basically you can see you have two type of MOSFET. Okay, see in the you have two type. One is the enhancement MOSFET, that is E MOSFET, and depletion MOSFET, that is D MOSFET. When you go for the enhancement MOSFET, I want to create the channel. The channel will not be there. Okay, channel will be absent. Okay, I want to create by applying the voltage. When you go for depletion MOSFET, channel will be present default. So it is like a JFET. In JFET also the channel will be available generally. Right. So broadly, I can say the enhancement MOSFET again classified into two types. One is the NMOS with respect to the E MOSFET, PMOS with respect to the E MOSFET. Similarly, you have two types, NMOS, and another one is a PMOS. Okay, so now we will go for the enhancement. Before we are going for enhancement mode, I'll just give the what is the idea how the basically device is being fabricated. See, when you look at the structure, please look at the structure very carefully. You have a three terminals, right? Basically, you have four terminals. I want to say, if you want to understand clearly, it is a body. Body is a substrate. This is a body. This is a substrate, right? The substrate. The second layer, so I can say it's your gate, that is determined by G, and source. Source is represented by S, and your drain is represented by your D. See, when you see the arrangement of the layers, see, this is a metal actually. This is your oxide. Consider this is a silicon dioxide. So basically, silicon dioxide dielectric material, right? Then here you will be having channel. Here the channel is shown, right? So metal, see, this is a metal. This is oxide. This is your substrate. That is a metal oxide semiconductor. So that's why name came metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. The principle behind is working is field effect. So that's why it came metal oxide semiconductor. It is very important to say the p-type substrate. When I want to design the n mask, you need to keep a p-type substrate. Basically, p-type substrate, the majority carriers are hole and minority carriers are electrons, right? So here, if you take a channel, this will be a length and this will be width. See, for your understanding, I will project it here. So this will be a length, right? This will be a length and this will be a width. So in MOSFET, it's very important to understand based on the width and length, the drain current will be dependent, I can say. Okay, so here you have a n plus well, you have n plus of well, you have a very active charge carriers, here you have active charge carriers. So you want to create a channel. Unless if you don't have a channel, the electron will not propagate from your source to drain. I want to create the channel. Okay, once you have a channel only, the electron can move from the source to drain. So that is a concept here. Here you have oxide. Okay, so here you have oxide. This is a metal. It is deposited above your like a n plus well. Here also deposited above the n plus well. So this is a source. It is grounded. Basically, you want to understand the body of the substrate and source always will be grounded, always tied. See, if you're not tied, you have a concept of body effect. I'm not going to take what do you mean by body effect, but you need to understand that is a voltage between S and B will be always zero. Both will be equal always, unless if it is not like a greater than or less than, is predominantly affect your threshold voltage. Okay, so it should not happen. Okay, so we want to maintain zero. That is very important to consider when you are designing the MOSFET. See, another structure, if you look, see, basically this is a structure like a capacitor. See, when you see the capacitor structure, you have a positive, you have a negative arrangement. In between, you have a dielectric. Same, you can see here metal, oxide, semiconductor. So naturally, in the MOSFET, you have the concept of capacitance. It will be included. So that is a very important drawback in MOSFET too. Due to this, unexpected charging and discharging will occur in your switching purpose. So that make like a delay or unusual time happen. It will be introduced in your switching time. So that is a main drawback. So people are working still in the research to reduce that like a capacitance effect. Okay, that is a unexpected capacitance which occur due to the arrangement of the layers. Okay, this is a basic structure you want to know. So this is a p-type substrate. This is basically lightly doped and you have a three terminals, gate, drain, source. Another thing you want to understand, body and sub source always connected. Okay, that is very important to understand. Okay, now I will explain you what you mean by enhancement mode. Basically, that is n MOSFET. Okay, see, when you go for the enhancement, when you go for a NMOS enhancement E MOSFET, okay, so basically what you want to understand here is channel is absent. Channel is absent. There is no channel. If you don't have a channel, right, the electron from this point to this point, it is not possible to move. I want to create the channel. When the channel will be created, that you want to understand. See, when you are giving VGS, consider when VG is 0, there is no channel. So electron will not move from the source to drain. Unless if electron not move from the source to drain, the current will be zero, right? Current will be zero. So you can see here, current will be zero. This point I can consider your drain current when VGS is zero. So when you consider when VGS is like a equal to threshold, what do you mean by threshold? Here you want to understand. See, this is a VGS you take, this is an ID you take. At the threshold only, current will be started to rise when VGS equal to VTN. What do you mean by threshold actually? It is a needed voltage to create the channel. It is a channel is a medium to send electrons to drive to that channel only the electrons will be driven based on the charge which is given in the drain. So basically you want to understand the drain will be connected with the positive terminal, right? So it is like a completely like a reverse bias. So plus will be connected with this drain so that electron will, when you have a channel, right? When you have a channel here, consider you have a channel. If you have a channel here, you can see when you have a channel the electron will be moving like this, so the current will be increasing. So you can see the different range how it is increased, different sort of current. Basically this is because of your VGS. See, when you VGS is equal to the threshold voltage, the length and breadth will be like this. When you say the VGS is more, like see, suppose I am giving it 6 charge, same the amount of electron will be attracted here, because this is basically it's a now you want to understand how the inversion layer is formed, that is a channel. So this is a p-type substrate. When you give the positive charge, the electrons will be attracted and same charge will be repelled. So based on the number of charge which you are giving, the pressure will be come through this oxide and the opposite charge will attract, the inversion layer is being created. I can say this both are mirror intent. The based on the number of count of charge, the number of electron will be deposited, or number of electron will be attracted in this position, and the inversion layer will be created. Okay, so here you want to understand here is the electron inversion layer is formed when VGS is equal to VTN. That time you consider this will be a length and width. When you give the more than your like a threshold voltage, so width and length will be large. Okay, so based on your, this is your width, this is your length. So based on the width and length ratio, the current also subsequently rising. So consider this is your VGS is equal to threshold voltage. Consider when VGS is like I am taking zero point 0.5 as a threshold. So suppose I am considering VGS is 1. So that time the width and length will be large. So more number of electron will be moving. Right? That is the basically area is large. Width and length area is large. So that you can see more current is being moving in the category. Right? Similarly, this is for 2 VGS, this is for 3, and this is for 4. So you can see how the current is rising. Okay, basically you want to here understand is this is output characteristics. So this is ID current versus your VDS. So this is your output voltage, this is our output current. So you have a three region. This is a cutoff region, and this is a ohmic region or non-saturation region. Okay, this is a saturation region. So you can see this is a called transition point. So this is a called transition point. So after the transition point, there is no more current will be rise. It will be saturated. I can say the transition point will be placed in between the non-saturation region and the saturation region. So it is like a pinch off condition. After that, there is no more current increase. Okay, that it will be saturated. Okay, this is called saturation voltage. When VDS is even increase more than VDS saturation, the current will be like a flat. Okay, that means resistance is large. There is no not offering any resistance. Resistance is more. Resistance infinite. Resistance infinite. I can say it was huge, infinite. Okay, so that is the reason why it was flat. Okay, so why this bending was occurring? Why this saturation was happening? You want to know. So that we will see in the next slide. So I hope you understand. Basically, in starting, you don't have a channel. I am giving VGS is greater than like a threshold. Okay, so if this is a VGS and this is your ID current. When VGS is less than VGS, there is no current. When VGS is greater than VTN only, the current will start to produce. So that is the initial moment that is current start to produce. That is called VTH. You want to understand. This is the initial moment at which the current is starting to produce. That is called threshold voltage. Okay, so you have a three region: ohmic, cutoff, and saturation region. The saturation point is nothing but a VDS saturation, VGS minus VTN. So that you want to understand. Here, how this is saturated, how you have a flat end. So I want to explain. So let me explain very easily. You can understand easily. When VGS is greater than VTN, you know the channel is created, right? When VGS is greater than less than VTN, when VGS is less than VTN, there is no channel, right? The channel, this is a source, this is a drain. You don't have any channel. So electron will not move from the source to drain based on your applied VDS, right? So when I am applying the greater than VTN, consider it is greater than VTN, the channel is created. So electrons are moving like this. Here you want to understand mainly this is a drain terminal which is connected to the positive. So because of this attraction of the polarity only, these electrons are moving. When electrons are moving from the channel, consider, see, this is your channel. So here you have a source, here you have a drain. Here you are connected to the plus. So electrons are moving like this. When electrons are moving from the source to drain, when electrons are move away from this point, it left out the positive charge. That is a immobility charge carriers. Right? It deposit the immobility charge carrier. This immobility charge carriers will be acting as a barrier for the current movement. Right? See, for example, see, consider this is your VDS. When VDS is 0, 0.1, 0.2, the current is rising. At one moment, what happened? It was saturated. Why? Because based on the force of attraction, the n number of electrons are move away and it will left out the positive charge carriers. This left out charge carriers is being act as a depletion region. It is not allowing further to move the electron, that is active charge carriers, to the drain terminal. So because of this available depletion part. So this is happening because of increasing this VDS point. When it reaches a certain point, that is a flat end, that point we use to as a VDS saturation. What do you mean by that? That means the channel will be completely string towards the source end. See, this is your source and this is your drain. Initially it was connected like this. When I am increasing the VDS, it will go like this. See, now you can see this fully, it was covered by the positive charge carrier. That is the depletion part. See, there is no more electron to move, so it will come back. So because of this huge barrier, the source and drain not connected, so it will come to the flat end. So you can see here it is explained clearly, that is a channel length modulation. So it is called channel length modulation. The length of the channel is modulated. It is modulated. So you will be creating a new channel length based on the changes which you applied in your VDS. You can see here current was increasing. When I keep on increasing the VDS at one certain point, you can see it was it is about to bend. Why? Because of, you can see before it was like this. Now there was some slope because this is fully occupied by the holes. That is a immobility charge carrier. So number of electron which is passing from the source to drain is very less. So current is being about to saturate. So in the next slide you can see clearly. So here about almost it is coming to the close to the sink. So it reaches the VDS saturation. This is the point we used as a VDS saturation. So when you increase further still, you can see still the length is string towards the source end. So at the one point the source and drain don't have any connection. So there is no further electron to move from the source to drain terminal. Okay, that point we used as a saturation region. Here you have a huge resistance. Resistance will be infinite. Okay, this is called channel length modulation. So this is the reason why this flat is occurring. There is a saturation region is occurring. Okay, I hope you understand. See, now when you go for the symbol part, see in the symbol part I have shown you three symbol. The three also that is given for the n mass. So what is the different actually? So basically you want to know, you have, it is a four terminal actually, the MOSFET. One is a gate, another is a drain, third is a source, and fourth terminal is the body of the substrate. So as I said in the slide, the body and the source should be connected. When it is not connected, there is a chance of body effect that will raise to the threshold. It will increase the threshold voltage that leads to many problems. Okay, so this is the basic representation. See here you can see the like a gap. This represent the channel is not available. You can see here, right? There is a gap in between this. That it represent, this is for enhancement MOSFET. Okay, this is the advanced representation here. You can see in the source it was given the arrow. and it is representing that you have a when you have a channel here, that will represent that you have some dark line. Here there is no channel, so it is represented by very single line, and also here you have a huge impedance, so that's why you have a that is a gap. So the basic understanding. So in between the gate and a substrate, you have a oxide. So basically that is the reason why huge impedance is offering in your or in your MOSFET, right? Basically, okay. So it is a voltage control current device. Basically, MOSFET is a voltage control current device. It's a voltage control current device. Current device. Which voltage controlling which current, right? So which voltage? VGS. Your VGS voltage is controlling your ID current. So that is very important. Okay, so basically this is a logic you want to understand. So based on that logic only, we used to represent the trans conductance, that is the changes of output current with respect to the input voltage. Okay, so this one you want to understand. So this is a advanced representation in the higher end. So this will be represented like this: gate, drain, source without arrow. So this is a basically a representation of the NMOS circuit, NMOS symbol. You can represent any one of this. Okay, no issue with that. Okay, so here I think you understand the depletion. Now we go further. The previous slide, I explained you enhancement MOSFET. So I hope you understand. The conclusion is, in the enhancement you don't have a channel. I want to create the channel. When the channel will be created above your threshold voltage, that's it. Okay. When you go for the depletion mode MOSFET, the channel will be available default. Default channel will be available even at the zero voltage, but it is opposite when you go for the enhancement MOSFET. When VGS is less than 0, what happened? You want to understand. When VGS is greater than 0, what happened? You want to understand. When VGS is less than 0, that means you are applying the negative charge, right? So that means here you have some electron, that is an electron inversion layer. When you are applying the negative charge, basically the positive will be attracted and electron will be repelled. See, when positive is attracted, the number of available free electron will be combined with this carrier, so that will be wasted, so current will be reduced. You can see here, when VGS is 0, when compared to VGS 0, when VGS is less than 0, the current is reduced here. So because the deposited free electrons are wasted because of the attraction of these free carriers, right? So that will that will not be contributed in the production of ID current. Okay, so basically when VGS is less than 0, the current will be less. When VGS is equal to 0, you have a normal current. When VGS is greater than 0, you have a higher current. So what is the conclusion here is, in the depletion mode MOSFET, the channel will be present default. Even the depletion mode MOSFET can be work as an enhancement mode MOSFET. So this, I can say, this will work like an enhancement mode MOSFET. Okay, so that is advanced, that is a basic idea you need to understand. The depletion mode MOSFET can be act as an enhancement mode MOSFET. That is an enhancement mode concept. Okay, it is working in the 3 level. When VGS is equal to 0, when VGS is less than 0, when VGS is greater than 0. When VGS is equal to 0, the current will be normal. When VGS is less than 0, the current will be less. Why? Because of the attraction of plus with this electron, so that will not be contributed in the production of ID current. When VGS is greater than 0, that will be contributed to produce the large current. So that is a basic idea that you understand from this diagram. So from this graph you can understand, obviously it is clear. Okay, so this is about a depletion mode MOSFET. So when you go for a depletion mode symbol, here you can see all are fully connected because the channel will be present default. Right, here I said already, in the enhancement mode it was represented by the single line. You can see here. This is a enhancement mode MOSFET. When you go for a depletion mode MOSFET, it will be represented by the dark line. It will be represented by a dark line, that is a gate and drain source. So this will be having the arrow. So this will be a VGS and this will be a VDS. Okay, so this is a basic symbol representation. This is a basic diagram representation. When it is in 0, when it is in less than 0, when it is in greater than 0, this is a representation of graph. So this is a cutoff region basically. This is a ohmic region. Ohmic region is a basically, this is a saturation region. Okay, so another thing is it will be saturated exactly at VDS sat equal to VGS minus VTN. So that is a very important to understand. Okay, so this is a very important formulas to solve the problems. It will help you lot. So basically, when you go for n mass in the saturation region, VDS will greater than or equal to VDS saturation. The VDS sat equal to VGS minus VTN. So basically, the current will be like a Kn VGS minus VTN whole square. So Kn will be a conduction parameter, that is mu Cox W divided by 2L. So this, that is a product of mu and CO will be represented by the Kn dash. So here you, what you want to understand is width and length is very important, and the threshold is very important in the MOSFET. Based on this three only, the current will be produced, right? So another thing is the capacitance. The capacitance is basically like a permittivity divided by thickness, that is epsilon, like a eta, that is a oxide permittivity represented by the epsilon not x divided by your oxide thickness TOX. Okay, so I said in the slides, right? So basically the structure provide the concept of capacitance effect in your MOSFET. So that will be adding naturally in your MOSFET structure. So mu and mu, like with respect to electrons, you have a mobility. Mu p is nothing but your respect to the holes, that mobility it is represented. You can see here mobility of electrons, and red represent mobility of holes. Okay, so TOX is oxide thickness, and W is a width, channel width and channel length, and K dash is nothing but a conduction parameter, as I said clearly. So this is a PMOS, this is a NMOS formulas. It will be more useful to solve the problem, right? So basically here I'll just give the, I'll throw the light about what we mean by configuration. So when you speak about the configuration, like you have a three type of configuration. One is a common source, common like a common gate, another is a common drain. So when you go for the common source, the source will be a common to the input terminal gate and the output terminal drain. Okay, your input will be given in this gate that you want to understand. Okay, so this is the most popular configuration. Most of the design will be used only with the common source configuration because of the power range. The voltage and the current rating will be good, is high in the this type of configuration compared to other two configuration. When you go for a common gate, so like a gate will be connected to the ground. So input will be your source and output will be a drain, right? You can see here the input is given in the source and output is taken. You can see this is a source and drain taken across the output, right? The input is given in your source. So basically gate is connected to the ground. So this is a very popular for voltage point of view. When you want to use the voltage amplifier, this configuration can be preferred. When you want to prefer a power amplifier, and many application will be preferring this configuration, that is common source configuration. Okay, so when you go for a common drain, the drain will be connected, that is a drain will be common, your input will be a gate and output will be a source. This is called common drain configuration. So this is a different type. So most of the condition you will be using the common source configuration only. But you want to understand the difference, right? So when you go for a common source, it can be used as a power amplifier. When you go for a common gate, it can be used as a voltage amplifier. When you go for a common drain, it can be used as a current amplifier. The popular name, other name for common drain is a source follower.